Hi guys, welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Nick, and today we are discussing Bitcoin's price action. We're jumping into the technical analysis on the 1 hour, 1 day, and 1 week timeframes, reviewing what I think, reviewing what's happened and where I think things are heading next. Let's jump right down into today's video. We'll kick things off with the 1 hour timeframe. So here's Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We're on the 1 hour chart, and Binance is our data source here. And as you can kind of see, we've kind of pushed up to 30,000 to the penny. This was on the fake news around a BlackRock spot ETF approval from the SEC. Obviously, that was fake, and we start to see this immediate rejection and back to the downside. Now, obviously, that move to the upside is interesting. It should actually have been probably a little bit better, in my opinion, than kind of where it was. But let's go ahead and review what happened afterwards. Okay, so we fell down here, we climbed up, we pushed back, we fell up again. Okay, I pushed up again. This looks very much like a three-wave pattern. I'm going to go ahead and just review where we kind of landed with this one. As to me, it looks like we are done here, and you can kind of see we came exactly on the 1-to-1 right up there. So essentially what this looks like, if I draw it on, is you have your A wave coming up, your B wave coming down, and your C wave hitting right there. Okay, so it's a complete three-wave pattern. This now means that we are likely to see rejection from here and head back to the downside. Now, this is not uncommon when we kind of review this kind of price action with much deeper retracements. Okay, so we can see here the fair value gap. This is an area that we're probably going to be looking at coming down to, because I think this ABC structure to the upside is just a B wave pattern, and I'll show you that on the daily time frame where it's a little bit clearer, but I'm going to try to show you it here as well. If we now throw this in, now we have that expectation. We can see down here, we're looking at retesting these existing lows of this X wave. So if I go ahead and draw this on a little yellow box, you can see that we're going to move right the way past the fair value gap down towards 26,490 to 26,950. That's pretty much a retracement all the way back down to where we were previously. So A, B, and then C, like so. Okay, so for the most part, it does look like we've kind of reached that upper area, and we're kind of looking to be done there. Now, we're overbought on the 1 hour time frame. If I take it to a 4 hour just briefly here, you can see we're coming down from the 4 hour chart. So we've still got momentum shifting to the downside even on the 4 hour. We're overbought on the 8 hour, and we are now overbought on the daily time frame as well. Speaking of which, let's jump on over into the daily time frame. So here you can see that the daily time frame is up in this overbought range. We are, of course, looking at this as a much bigger three-wave pattern to the downside now, still targeting out $22,000 to $23,000. So 22,170 to 23,488. Okay, this is now a three-wave pattern, WX1Y, and it looks like we kind of topped out at $30,000. This is what we were talking about yesterday. There's nothing changed here on the daily time frame, other than the fact that the momentum indicator is now indicating to us that we are overbought. Essentially, this is an indication that buying pressure is easing off, and we're about to see a pivot. We're about to see a reversal in the price action as people start to sell and take profits rather than continue to lay it in and buy. Okay, so right now what we're looking at here is a potential reversal to the downside. So for me, this looks like a shorting opportunity. Obviously, just my personal thoughts and opinions. If I were to trade this, I would be trading this on BitGet, maybe OKX or MEXC, something to that effect. But my go-to at the moment is still BitGet, so I would be looking to go short personally. And my approach to this would be that I would go for, looking at current price where it is, put in the stop loss above that 30,000. So I'd just go a little bit above that swing high there. And then my take profit is going to be all the way down here at 23,488. This is something that will give me a 3.72 risk reward ratio, but take quite a significant period of time to play out. This is a trade that is likely to take a few weeks to play out, not something that we're going to see instantaneous results on. Okay, so this is a longer term play. This is not typically something that I like to do. I much prefer to kind of have trades that kind of play out with 1 to 2 days. But in this particular case here, we can see some pretty lucrative returns on investment, very small leverage. We wouldn't need much. We are talking about an 18% drop on Bitcoin. So again, a small amount of leverage wouldn't be required here. A small amount of risk associated with that. So a 3.72 risk reward ratio, making sure we have stop loss above the swing height. Ultimately, to me, looks like a pretty reasonable expectation and trade idea. Again, that would be my approach to it, but I was saying, I'm no financial advisor. I can't give financial advice, cannot give you kind of any trading ideas or anything like that. Understand the risks that are involved in trading if this is something that you are going to be looking at doing. Ultimately, you should probably consult your own financial advisor if you have access to one. Just note that I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions on the data as I personally see it. And so if we take this out into the weekly time frame, you can see here that we are, of course, above that 50 EMA, which is above the 200 EMA, and the 50 SMA is on the move to the upside. However, we are seeing a bit of weakness here, okay? And the weakness really comes in from the fact that we are raising up the momentum indicator, and we are finding that we're not really getting any decent higher highs on the weekly time frame. Ultimately, this to me looks like we are still looking for more slippage to the downside. I've spoken about this many times before. To me, this entire thing just looks like a big bear flag, or a big kind of bull trap is probably the best way of kind of saying it. We have the higher highs and the higher lows here across the weeks. And of course, this has a tendency to want to break on down, even if it is a raising ascending wedge. Even if you look at it from that kind of point of view, what we're really looking for here is a move to the downside. Okay, so we are looking for a breakdown. This is a continuation pattern essentially, which is a move to the downside, in my opinion, where of course we know we have got the ideas or the potential for new bear market lows. Again, no guarantees of any of that. The only thing I'm expecting really is a move to $20,000. After that, we'll have to see how the price kind of moves, whether it loses those kind of support levels or not. But ultimately, I am still looking for a retracement, healthy profits, and that is also being indicated through the volumes, with the low volumes coming through is helping just to see the stochastic RSI essentially indicate to us that that momentum is running out to the upside, and we're likely to see that pivot, as I said earlier. So all in all, looking across the different time frames, my expectations are that we're probably going to see a pretty healthy move to the downside, lots of profits being taken off the table, and it's probably going to be quite bad for many altcoins out there as well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, but I'm going to leave the video right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.